Good morning, everybody. This is Vonda Evans, and today I want to talk about 2022 is the year for you. All your life, your adult life, you have been putting people before you. You put your kids before you. You put your husband before you. You put your job before you. And many of you all have just lost sight of what it is. You think all you're supposed to do is go to work every day, come home and clean up, sacrifice for people that don't appreciate you, that's grown, kids grown, husband. And now you find yourself at a place, it's in a barren place. It's like, I'm just existing, I'm not living. And the reason why you programmed yourself to be a giver instead of taking what you need for yourself. I'm all right with giving, but you got to give to yourself. You got to tithe and you got to tithe to yourself. You say, I got to reserve something for me. Y'all not doing that. First, you have a child, and I understand it may be a situation where, you got a piece of pie and they hungry. You say, that's okay. But you can't keep doing that. You cannot keep allowing people to take advantage of your goodness, of your sacrifice, because after a while, then that's all you become. You identify yourself as that. Well, I did it for my kids. I got to do it for my grandkids. You around here riding around here on ball tires, okay? And they balling at the club, got veneers on, got their hair done, and that's okay. God gonna make a way. Damn, he done made a way. But you refuse to take that part because for some reason you want to save somebody, and that make you feel good. I always know I can depend on you, mama. Yeah, and I'm putting food in your refrigerator and I don't have none of mine. That ain't cute no more. That's ridiculous. God don't want you to live like that. And you're living beneath your privilege because God has given you a full portion. You the one trying to give everybody else some. Oh, this for my husband, this for my daughter, this for my grandkid. Before you know it, you ain't got nothing left. You ain't even got a slice left. You have to be willing in 2022 to say, I'm going to reserve the first piece of the pie for me. That's mine. I don't care about the husband, the kids, the grand. That is mine. I am going to tithe to myself in resources, in time, and most importantly, in love. I'm going to put me first. I am going to say no if it's something I don't want to do, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. I've made a decision, and at this time, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. You bold, why you doing that? Guess what? God will make a way. Like he made a way for you, he'll make a way from them. You have to learn to say no and let them find their way. But you keep rescuing people and you're not allowing them to stand on their own 2 feet. And you want to know why, they still living at home, or why they don't have no car, or why they don't go to school, or what, because you've allowed it. When we was our age, we look, as my mother said, grunt little pig or die. But you got to move on. That's bold, but that made us the men and women that we needed to be. And what we do is we cripple through love. Oh, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. Then when you leave up out of here, you ain't prepared them to do nothing but beg. Sis, it's time to stop. The place of the greatest resources is the graveyard, because it's dreams out there. It's books out there. It's businesses out there. But because they refused to give it life, God has given you the book. I ain't got time for that. I got to watch my grandkids. God has given you the business. I got to take that money and I got to do certain things with it. I can't do that. I got to put for my grandkid education. God has given you the dream of who you should be. I'm too old for that. No. This year in 2022, this is the year for you. You're going to learn to take that first portion for yourself, your resources financially, your time, and you are going to give to you. I know that it is very discouraging, at least it was for me. I saw everybody around me get blessed. They get a new house, they get a new car, they get a new relationship. And I kept saying, you know, I'm applauding from them, but when is my season? And when I look back, God had made provision for me, but I kept giving it away. He said, daughter, I gave you the down payment for your house so you can fix your credit up. I got to give it away. I gave it away. And when I got to the point where I said, I have no more to give, there's nothing left. That's when God said, now watch what I'm going to do. And I learned to be a good steward for me, not for my children, but for myself. And in that season, when my back was against the wall, I had nothing to give nobody, so didn't nobody ask me for nothing. That's when God replenished me. He said, but daughter, I've been giving it to you. You've been giving it away. You have to learn to say, me first, me first. The season of you being that resource for others is over. You got to go somewhere else, love. I love you. I love you with the gift of release. That's, oh, baby, you talking about that's a love? When you love a person enough to release them, that's real love. When you hold on to them to the point where they're suffocating and you are, that ain't love. That's some crazy stuff. That's not love. You love your kids, let them go. Let them fall on their knuckles. Let them learn why credit is important. You got to teach them by saying no. You can't let these men just keep running over you, coming over at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning, being a resource for them. Oh, I know I got bond, so I can take my money. I ain't got to buy them tires. I can put them on her charge because she love me and she want to be right and she want to show me she a good woman. The devil is a liar. Okay? While Vonda riding around on bald tires. How a man gonna be laying up with you knowing your tires bald and then turn around and want to put something on your credit card? Baby, I got you. Because they're looking at you as a resource. You got to say, baby, with tears in my eyes. Okay. Because 2022 is the year for you. Will it be lonely? Absolutely. Because when people know they can't use you no more, they don't call. They don't check up on you. But what you find is an opportunity, a season to build you, to do the things you wanted to do. But what about that business don't work? So what? What about them relationships that you invested in and didn't work, but you still went for it anyway? It's time for you to invest in your dreams, to invest in becoming a better person. It's time. It's not time. The 2021 and less was the time for sacrifice and being a fool for somebody else. That time is over. 2022 is the year for you. And I want you to write down what things you want to do. A secret plan, what you want to do. And I want you to work at it little by little. Let me tell you something. All my life, as an adult woman, I was fed. Wayne County prosecutor at 25 wrote me a check. Judge wrote me a check. Had my father, had my husband. And at 56, I'm out here trying to fish for myself, but I ain't have a choice. And I look back now and I say, damn, girl, you should have been done this. I have independence. I have peace. I'm living my dream. But what God had to do is say, if I don't take this from you, Vonda, you're going to die in a position of lack. Why? Because I've made provision for you. And you will not live to your full capacity. Why? Because you are refusing to do what you're supposed to do. That ain't nothing but the enemy. We're going to keep going. It's time, sis, for you to live your full potential. I don't care what other people say. You too old. Hell, I'm 56 years old starting a damn business. Okay? 99% of the chance the business would have flopped. But I kept believing because I ain't had no choice. And now I realize I got a tithe to me. It's your season to do that for you. If I can do it, you can. But you got to believe that you can. You got to believe, well, I want a relationship. If that's what you want, then you need to become relationship material. What you mean by that? I ain't talking about having all them fake breasts and all that. Forget all of that. I'm talking about getting your mind right. Learning to tell a man no. Learning to have boundaries for a relationship. Learn to put yourself first instead of bailing somebody out to show them I'm down for you. No, you're showing them that you're a fool. When you riding around with bald tires and they want some new ones because they on their knuckles. Well, guess what? You're going to be on your knuckles. But that ain't godly. God wants you to love you first. This year, it's a different year. 2022 is the year for you. And the enemy is going to say, well, you know, they tuition due. And I'm sorry. Well, you know, auntie need a new roof. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I got to put me first. And when you start to put you first in your time, in your research, in your time with God, in your time with the universe, you got to do that. You're going to be stronger and you'll be in a position to help people. But if you don't do for you, you can't help anybody. How many people y'all don't rode on an airplane? What they say in the time of turbulence, if you riding with a small child, you got to put the oxygen mask on you. Because if you don't save you, you can't help them. Because I took that time to say no to everybody, well, didn't nobody want nothing because, you know, I ain't had nothing. But when I took that time to sow into myself, my spirit woman, to sow into my business with my creative ideas, I put myself in a situation to help other people. But it was me giving to me. I had to feed me. I had to till my own soil. I had to do it for me. Because if I didn't do it for me, I couldn't help nobody else. It's your season, sis. You up. You up. It's time for that business to be birthed. It's time for that positive relationship with yourself to be birthed. It's time for you to step out and say, I want to try something new. It's time. This is the point we've looked at and said, you know what? I'm tired of going on Instagram and social media and seeing how others are living their best life. It's time for me. My season, it's up. I have sacrificed. I have done everything I'm supposed to do and some. It's my season. It's my time. So when you see a picture of Italy, you say, I've been there. When you see a picture of Africa, you say, I've been there. When you see a Cadillac, I got one. It's your season. It's your time. When you ride by a hair business, you say, I got one. It's your season. It's your time. Don't let that vision, that blessing die inside of you. You got to birth it forward. And if any of you ladies know anything about birth, it's painful, but it's worth it. It's time for you to birth forth that business. It is time for you to birth forth you being a better person. It's time for you to birth forth being a wife. In order for you to get a husband, you got to think like a wife. You can't let nobody run in and out your house, in and out your bed all the time, trying to prove to somebody, trying to use your revolving credit to be able to help them to invest in them. It's your season, sis. You got to start walking like a wife. You got to start having boundaries. For those of you who want children, you got to start being a mother. You got to stop letting men, all kind of stray men, leave spirits all up in your house and everything. You got to clean your house. It's time to invest in you. It's time for you to say either every morning, every night, I got to put an hour in to being with God. I got to do that because that's going to build me up. I got to, no matter what, I got to make sure I get on my treadmill. I got to walk the mall. I got to invest in my physical being. I got to leave bull crap food alone. I got to leave that liquor alone. I got to invest in my mind. And when you do that, you are going to see something birth from you that you're going to say, wow, it was in you all the time. I love you. Be blessed. I want you to start working on that list because 2022 is the year for you. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.